Paid hitchhiker, $150 an hour. 2-hour nights, Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 p.m. I did the math in my head. About $6,500 a month. Not bad. As that thought sank in, I realized something. Studying music theory had probably been a mistake. Still, I decided to reply to the listing. I answered a few questions, attached my resume, though I wasn't sure what good that would do, and hit send. Almost instantly, a reply came. I'd half expected that. Who else would jump at this position? Thank you for your interest in the hitchhiking position. We're excited to invite you to move forward with the interview process. I typed back quickly. Thanks for reaching out. I'd be glad to move forward with the interview. What dates and times work best? The reply came moments later. Friday, followed by a set of coordinates. I plugged them into Google Maps. The destination was a small building, down a long road in the middle of a forest. On street view, the place looked blurred, distorted. The only thing clear was a sign. No soliciting, no religion, no unscheduled meetings. It was Wednesday then. I tried to tell myself I didn't need the money, that it wasn't worth the risk. But the truth was I did need it, badly. By Friday night, I was in my beat-up car, headed for the coordinates. The building was larger than I imagined. 2 stories, with a basement revealed by rows of sunken windows. Gray concrete walls, thin sheet metal doors. I tried the front door. Locked, knocked, no answer. So I sat on a wooden bench 15 feet away and waited. At 7:30, the forest nearly pitch black, 2 cars pulled in. From one stepped a tall man with thinning black hair. From the other, a scrawny kid, maybe 19 at most. The tall man approached first. Hello, my name is Jeffrey. Devin, I replied. This is your partner, James. Partner? I asked. I looked at James. He was gripping his arm tightly. When he noticed me, he let go and raised a hesitant hand in greeting. I waved back, awkwardly. Yes, Jeffrey said evenly. Your partner. After a pause, he added, shall we head inside? We followed him in. The interior was exactly what I expected. Bare concrete walls, dim light, a single desk at the center. Jeffrey sat down. James and I took seats across from him. Can I ask you both a question? Jeffrey said, pen in hand. We nodded. What's the most scared you've ever been? I hesitated, hoping James would answer first. He didn't. My house was broken into when I was 16, I said, adding a nervous laugh. Jeffrey scribbled something down, then turned to James. I don't know, James muttered. Jeffrey studied him for a moment, then nodded. Very well. Shall we get you suited up? He led us to a changing room with 2 booths. He handed me a bag of ragged clothing. Inside, I slipped them on. They looked filthy, but smelled clean. When I stepped out, I froze. James wasn't ragged at all. He was in a perfectly tailored suit. Spotless. Elegant. We stared at each other. Jeffrey just grinned. Perfect. He guided me to the basement. In the center stood a red vanity table stocked with makeup. Sit, he instructed. I sat, staring into the mirror. I wondered how I'd ended up here. Jeffrey worked with brushes and sponges. When he finished, my reflection looked destroyed. Dirty face, greasy hair, sunken eyes. We went back upstairs. Your turn, Jeffrey told James. When James returned, his transformation was startling. Neat hair, glowing skin, unnaturally bright blue eyes, contacts, I guessed. Jeffrey clasped his hands together. Now, a few rules before you head out. He recited them one by one. Never enter the black truck, even if it seems like your last hope. If you ever see a man identical to yourself, get in the car, nod, then exit immediately. If the radio is set to 99.3, get out of the car no matter how fast it's moving. Never allow your driver to pick up another hitchhiker. Everything clear? We nodded. Wonderful. Please, follow me. He led us to his car, opening the front passenger seat and one back door. James hesitated, so I took the front. We'll head to your site first, James, Jeffrey said. Okay, James murmured. We drove in silence through the dark until a bench appeared by the roadside, identical to the one I'd waited on earlier. Your stop, Jeffrey said. James stepped out, sat on the bench and stuck out his thumb. Onwards to your site, Jeffrey told me. As we drove, I finally asked what had been nagging me. Why did James get the nice makeover? Wouldn't I be better suited as the businessman? Jeffrey ignored me at first. Then he smiled, parked the car, and leaned over to pop open my door. "Remember to tell them to bring you right back here," he said. "You didn't tell James that," I pointed out. "Don't worry," Jeffrey replied. "He knows." I figured he'd gone over more rules with James privately. I stepped out and sat on the bench. 30 minutes passed before I saw headlights. I stuck out my thumb, but the car sped past. 10 minutes later, the woods behind me stirred, rustling, twigs snapping, something pacing, circling, closer each time I ignored it. And then the black truck arrived. It didn't appear down the road like a normal car. It was just there, headlights blazing, horn screaming. The beams blinded me, every raindrop, every speck of dust frozen in the glare. I shielded my face as the truck crept closer. The horn blared again, long, metallic, almost animal. "Get the hell in," a voice shrieked. Not one voice, dozens, layered together, mismatched in tone but perfectly in unison. Through the windshield, shadows thrashed. Faces slammed against the glass. Mouths wide, eyes wide, distorted. Couldn't breathe. My legs felt tied down. Every instinct screamed at me to run. But I stayed. The horn stabbed through the night again and again. "Get in, get in, get in." The forest behind me went silent, as if whatever had been lurking stepped back to give the truck room. I dug my fingers into the bench, unmoving. Time felt suspended. The horn pressed into my skull like a migraine. And then it stopped. The headlights clicked off. The voices fell silent. The truck was gone. No engine. No retreating taillights. Just gone. Another 20 minutes passed before a new car appeared, crawling unnaturally slow, 15 miles an hour at most. No engine sound. Only the crunch of tires on gravel. When it reached me, the window rolled down, and I saw myself, identical, down to the ragged clothes, the smeared makeup, even my hunched posture. He stared at me, silent, waiting. The silence was unbearable. I walked to the car, stomach flipping. I opened the door, stepped in, and sat. He didn't look at me again. He just tapped the wheel twice. I nodded. The car jolted forward with impossible speed. But after 100 feet, he braked. I knew. Get out. I opened the door and stepped into the night. By the time I turned back, the car was gone. No trace. I let out a shaky breath I didn't realize I'd been holding. Finally, a normal car appeared. The driver leaned out. "Where to?" "Just up the road," I said quickly. Panic struck me. I hadn't checked the radio. My head snapped toward it. 112.7. Safe. Relief washed over me. As we drove, the driver squinted at the roadside. "Jesus, what happened to that guy?" he muttered. I looked, and my heart collapsed. James. He was sprawled on the gravel, one arm twitching weakly, blood pooling beneath him, soaking his once white shirt. His face pale, eyes still open. "Stop the car," I shouted. The driver slowed, uneasy. "I don't know, man. Stop." I threw the door open before the car fully stopped, stumbling to James. "James, it's me." He turned his head with effort. Blood dripped from his mouth as he coughed. His hand shook as it reached toward me. I gripped it tight, ice cold, fading. "Don't let them," he gasped. His eyes darted to the trees, then back to me, wide with terror. "Promise me." I promise," I said, though I didn't understand. He coughed again, body shuddering, then went still. Behind me, the driver called nervously, "Hey man, we should go." Seriously. I pressed James' hand to my chest one last time before laying it down. Tears blurred my vision as I staggered back to the car. When Jeffrey greeted me back at the building with cheer, I could barely contain myself. "Did you see James?" he asked lightly. "He's dead," I snapped. Jeffrey tilted his head, almost amused. "Oh, what a shame. Don't stay the night." "That's it? That's all you have to say? I told you not to worry about your partners, Devin. It does no good." I wanted to scream, but no words came. I just left. The drive home was silent. James' last words echoed in my head. The forest road stretched endlessly, black trees pressing in. And then I saw him, a lone figure on the shoulder, illuminated in my headlights. Filthy, tangled beard, patchy scalp, clothes torn to shreds. His thumb stuck out, arm stiff, like it had been raised for hours. I slowed instinctively. Something in my stomach twisted. His eyes glinted, too sharp, too deliberate. I pressed on the gas, deciding to pass. The moment I did, his head snapped toward me. His eyes locked onto my car, and then he ran. In the mirror, I nearly swerved. He was sprinting after me, barefoot, stumbling, but impossibly fast. His mouth hung open, teeth bared. His voice carried through the trees. "Coward," he bellowed. "Coward. You'll end like the rest." I floored it, but his figure clung to the road in my mirror far longer than it should have, until finally, the forest swallowed him. By the time I got home, my hands were still shaking. 2 months passed. Jeffrey replaced James again and again. None lasted longer than a week. Some came back broken. Others never returned at all. Jeffrey never flinched, and I kept returning, night after night, the rules circling in my head, even when I was home. Tomorrow night, I've decided I'm gonna tell Jeffrey I'm quitting. I've already rehearsed it. Firm, polite, just a simple resignation. I hope he understands.